Hi everyone! This is going to be a video about basic energy work. You may already know this, but everything is made of energy. So anything you do is an energy manipulation of sorts. But once you learn how to focus it and concentrate on it and actually do it with an intent, that is magic. That is spells. That is how you do Reiki. If you ever get into that, that is the basis of magic. So today's video is going to be about the basic steps and how to start into it and how to get used to it, and from there you can go on and do anything magical. But you got to know how to start first, or where to start. So first off, you may know from watching other videos that you have a power hand and a receiving hand. Your power hand is usually the one you write with. Not always. If you just take time and pick up different things, or touch different things and try to sense energies, you'll find that one hand probably senses it a lot easier than the other hand. Some people can only sense energies with their power hand. Some people can do both equally. Some people it's just stronger in one hand than the other. With me, I found that it's a lot stronger in my power hand, but my receiving hand, the more I practice with it, the better I get with it. So it is possible to use your receiving hand as well. But your power hand, for me, it is my writing hand and it's my right hand, and my receiving hand is my left hand. Your power hand is your positive current. Your receiving hand is your negative current. You put them together, you make a big battery. It's like a circuit. So, and positive and negative, I just mean energy. I don't mean like harmful or good or bad. It's positive and negative. They balance each other out. One is no better or worse than the other. It's just how it is. So, to start, what we're going to do is we're going to make a ball of energy. A lot of people like to, when they start, they clap their hands together, like really hard. They rub them together. I like to kind of do both, just kind of like get myself in the mode for it. The clap just kind of tells me I'm going to do energy work, you know, when I'm playing with it. So, sorry for all the ums and blah, blah, blah. But, so what I'm going to do, clap my hands together, rub them together, get them kind of warm, and then you're going to start small, and you're going to start, oh, little fairy on my hand. You start small, and you just, my hands are barely apart. What you're doing is you're pouring energy into your hands and swirling it into a ball. When you first start, it'll help a lot if you close your eyes and just visualize it. You can try along with me if you want. You might want to watch the video, try it, and then watch the video again and kind of get a feel for it. Go back and see if there's anything you missed, or if there's anything you like, any different ideas that you might pick up on. But you really want to make sure when you're first starting this that you're purely concentrated on that. Even if you're the type who can tune things out and focus on something else, I would try to do it while you're alone and no one else is talking around you. There's no TV or radio going. You know, if you can, go outside, just sit in a corner of your yard and just work on it. But whatever you do, make sure you're focusing on it at first, because that way you start out doing it correctly instead of kind of fumbling around with it. And then when you go forward, you've started with a solid foundation. Clap your hands together, rub them together, start small, and just visualize pouring energy into your hands, into a ball. You'll feel it start getting bigger and bigger, and your hands will slowly move apart. Don't try to move your hands apart to make it bigger. You'll lose it. Just keep pouring the energy into it, and you'll feel them moving apart. Don't rush. I mean, if you start it with a really small, if you open your eyes and start it with a small one, that's fine. Once you get better at it, you'll end up with really big ones. Or, I mean, you might start out with a really big one. The size of it doesn't matter. The point is that you get that into your head and you know what you're doing. You know what you're looking for. So, pour it into there, you know, let it get bigger and bigger until you have an energy ball. And you can feel it, like if you push against it, you'll feel the resistance. Someone's coming down the road. You'll feel the resistance, and you'll feel, it might be a little hot, it might be kind of cool. It's different for everyone, but you'll feel a difference in the air in that ball of energy. So do that a couple times. Get used to it. Know how it feels. And then once you get used to it, you can focus on colors. You can focus on the texture, like if you're a fire element and you want to envision it as fire, or water element as water, you know, whatever you want to envision it as. With colors, you can focus an intention into it. For me, green is healing, so if I'm doing something to try to help someone with a headache or something, I focus green energy. You also, I mean, you know I love to work with herbs, so I also put an herb into it. Usually with a headache or something, I just use chamomile. Usually with healing, I use chamomile because it's really calming, and I mean, that's probably, if you're in pain, just a calming kind of herb is going to help you out. And with energy healing, it's more about making the person feel better, not so much making the sickness or illness or whatever is ailing them go away. It's about them feeling better. So you can focus on different things. When I first started doing this, I just saw it as like a blue-white light. Like that was my natural thing. If you don't see it in your hands, like you don't see anything in my hands right now, like physically see, you may see it in your mind's eye and you may not. So if you don't worry about it. That's the point of closing your eyes, because you can visualize it in here, and then you feel it when you're pushing against it with your eyes closed. You feel it, so you know it's there, instead of staring at it and saying nothing is happening, because you know you don't want to get frustrated. So just keep trying that. Once you get really comfortable with it, if you want to have someone practice with you, someone who's also wanting to learn how to do it, you don't want to practice this with someone who's scoffing you or something like that. If you're practicing it with like a little sister or something like that, and they don't actually believe it, or they don't actually want to care anything about it, their negative thoughts about it is gonna destroy your intentions, because one, they're gonna make you self-conscious and you're not gonna believe in yourself to do it, and two, just they're putting off negative energy and you're trying to build something, and you know I mean, in that sense of the word negative, I mean they're putting out harmful, like destructive energies that's taken away from what you're building. So you want to make sure that if you practice with anyone, they also believe that you can do it, or they're at least open to it. And then once you find someone like that, you can build the energy ball, get to where you can hold it and everything, and try passing it. I wouldn't try throwing it right off. Some people try throwing it back and forth. It's really hard to keep the energy ball focused once it leaves your hands, especially if you don't have a strong third eye that can see it. It just kind of disperses. So you want to make sure that you start off by passing it, because you don't want to set yourself up for failure. You can even, if you don't have a partner, try passing it back and forth between your own hands, like pass it here and pass it there, you know, just so you could see that it is a ball of energy on its own. Once you get good at passing it, you can try throwing it. I've never tried throwing it, but I usually don't practice with a person. The big thing about about throwing it is you have to still focus that ball of energy until it gets to their hands, because otherwise it's energy, but there's nothing keeping it in a ball form. So yeah, so just keep practicing, working on that. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope I covered everything. If I remember something I left out, I'll write it in the description. But yeah, I'll go over it really quick one more time. Clap your hands together, rub them together, something kind of make your hands warm, and just focus on it. And you're pouring that energy into your hands. And it feels like my hands are getting farther apart. Sometimes they are, and sometimes they aren't when I have my eyes closed. You can make a really dense ball or a really airy ball. Either one. Like an airy ball would be like a bubble. If you blow a bubble, the outside's made of the bubble, the inside's made of air. Could be like that, or you could have a really small one that's like a marble. So, you know, you get that. This is just a very airy one. Yeah. So, yeah. That's the basics. Thanks for watching. Oh, one more thing. Once you make the balls, if you're trying to do it for a specific purpose, like I said, if you're trying to help someone with a headache, first off, be careful that you're completely focused on helping them, and you're not distracted thinking about something, especially thinking like, oh, I gotta get my homework done, or oh, I have to do chores, you know, stuff that you don't like doing. You want it to be completely healing energy that you're putting into this energy ball. And then until you're fully sure of yourself that you know that that is going to help them, that is completely healing, don't put it into them. Practice on yourself, like if your knee's kind of bothering you or something, you've been running around all day. Practice putting it into yourself first and see that it helps you. And then once you get to that point, you can help other people. But you don't want to use other people as guinea pigs if you're not fully focused, and then you might put something into them that won't help them. So yeah. Okay, but thanks. Blessed be.